People in love? I always love that slight hesitation there on that one. Single? Yes! Relationship? Yeah! In love? Yes! Any married people? Yes! Least amount of energy, good. I got married last year, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you. I've jumped aboard the matrimony pony. She hates that nickname. My wife is half Danish and half American. She's basically a very well-armed Viking. I love going to America to visit the American family. America is my favourite place in the world to go. It's the only place I ever truly feel thin. Or educated. Love going to America, hate going to Denmark. Denmark, everyone there is ridiculously tall, blonde and beautiful. I go to Denmark, I feel like a hobbit that's gone to visit the elves. We do very different jobs. I do this for a living, but my wife is also a lawyer. Where's our lawyer? What are you doing here on a Friday night? You should be at home with a mountain of cocaine. Yum, yum, yum! I've learned a few things about living with a lawyer. Number one, I will never win an argument ever again. Number two, cock jokes are not acceptable at the firm's Christmas party. And number three, no matter how funny I still think it is, I am no longer allowed to shout guilty on the point of ejaculation. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. I'm so sorry, Uncle, I've ruined your evening. Also not allowed to ask if you'd like to see Exhibit D. We made direct eye contact there, I apologise. It's been a strange week in politics. Nigel Farage came out of the Black Lagoon. Said that maybe he wanted a second EU referendum, which is kind of like will.i.am saying no to a music collaboration. And he said the reason he wants it is because he thinks that if there is another referendum, the Leave will be an even bigger vote, and then it will put this argument to rest. I think someone needs to tell Nigel Farage that a lot of Leave voters are now dead. Still remember where I was when I got the Brexit result. I was doing a gig at the Glastonbury Festival, which I thought would be really cool. It was actually just horribly terrifying. We woke up on Brexit morning. It was like waking up inside a really middle-class refugee camp. just me surrounded by loads of posh white girls in tents crying, going, "It's going to be okay, Ursula, it's going to be okay. Pass the quinoa, pass the quinoa." Brexit is a scary thing. It's going to affect all of our lives, our housing, our jobs, our economy, even our personal lives. I don't know if you guys know this. There's even now a sex move called the Brexit. Yeah, don't worry, I'll explain. For those who don't know, the Brexit is basically, it's when you pull out at the last minute due to fear. And then shit all over everything. My wife is amazing. She's a lawyer. She's got a proper job. I do this for a living. I used to have a horrible job. Before I did this, I used to work in a very big toy store in central London that my wife says I'm not allowed to mention for legal reasons. Call it Schmamleys. Anyone ever been to Schmamleys before? Anyone been there around Christmas time? What's it like? Hell, horrendous. It's a lot more horrendous when you're dressed like a fucking elf. It's my first job out of school. I got my A-levels in religious studies, classical civilization, and drama, or as my dad called it, the unemployable trifecta. I live with my wife now in a little flat in Streatham. Anyone know Streatham? It's about the right level of enthusiasm. I got this flat from an estate agent called Foxtons. Good, if you've read off yet. Yeah. For those who don't know, if there's any foreign people in the room, the way Foxtons works is basically Satan. He wakes up quite early and just shits out the same 20 to 35-year-old guy all over the city. I met this guy outside the flat. His name was Chad. Chad. If you call your kid Chad, he's gonna grow up to be a cunt. That's just how it works. Chad was everything I was worried he was going to be. He got out of his Mini Cooper wearing his Marks and Spencer suit with cufflinks. Just comes out with way too much confidence. Hi Sam, great to meet you Sam, name's Chad. Heard you just got married, fantastic! I've got a perfect little place for you Sam. I can see you being here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You're going to love it. You're going to have a baby here Sam, a cat, a dog, it's perfect. Let's have a look inside. Everything was amazing to Chad. Look at this flat, Sam, it's got a door. It's like Chad had watched all seasons of Top Gear, thought Jeremy Clarkson was a great guy and was going to try and match him offensive metaphor for offensive metaphor. The worst one he came up with is he walked into the bathroom, pointed at the bath and said, Sam, look at the size of that bath, you see that? You could fit 6 dwarfs in there. As a former elf, I was offended. So why dwarfs, Chad? Did children sound too creepy? Were you trying to make a Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs reference, but forgot about Doc, the leader? Doc fan over there in the corner again. I have to leave now, Chad. I'm going to spend the rest of the day thinking about dwarfs. And I did. I had this weird flashback to this video game I used to play as a teenager, which was sort of a fantasy thing. At the beginning of this game, you got to choose what race you wanted to play as. And you could play as human, elf, orc, or dwarf. And I realised, standing in this terrifying bathroom in Streatham, for the first time in 28 years, dwarfism, which is a registered medical condition, is the only one that we as a society have said it's okay to turn that into a fantasy race. Which is cool, but kind of weird. We've not done this with anything else. In Lord of the Rings, Gandalf will never say, "Here come the dyslexics from the north!" Frodo, bring forth the epileptic archers! They've all missed again. Carly was talking about her mum. I'll tell you a bit about my mum. My mum is a very interesting character. She's an actress. Growing up with an actress for a mother is like growing up with a schizophrenic who chooses when she changes into other people. Like I was never sent to my room by Catherine. I was always sent by Graham. Terrifying. I use some of my mum's acting genes to fuck with people. My wife's bought a landline. Give me a cheer if you're under 30. Give me a cheer if you're under 30 and own a landline telephone. One group of people over there, no one else. They're useless. No one good ever calls you on a landline. It's PPI claims, old relatives you wish would just die. I got charity phone calls and I used my Hamleys experience, to fuck with this charity call. I used to do puppet shows for the kids, which were basically a rip-off of Sesame Street. And I learned to do the voice of one of the characters from that show quite well. It's called the Elmer Method, and it works very much like this. Hello there, my name is Brian. I'm calling on behalf of Cancer Research UK. Yeah? Sorry, is that Mr. Russell speaking?
No, my name is Elmer, no!
Sorry, Elmo from Sesame Street.
Yeah, Elmo! What do you want to talk about? Cancer?
I know, it's horrible. So, I don't think you're taking this very seriously. I don't think you're taking this very seriously, sir.
I